Hey everybody, welcome to a special edition of DC Action Hour. Ping, 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 ping. All right, folks, that was our Wonder Woman deflecting bullets. My name is Jeff. Thank you so much for joining us. This is DC Action Hour, part of the Super Geeked Up universe. We haven't done this show in a while, but we talk all kind of different DC stuff. We used to do this to talk about Arrowverse shows back in the day. And but we also like to do when new movies come out, and obviously Wonder Woman 1984 just released recently, so we're going to talk all about that new movie. I am joined by my co-host from lots of different things. Genretainment, I guess, though, is the main one I'll mention. It's Marx Pyle.
Woohoo! Hello, everybody.
Hey. Oh, is that your arrow? Is that your arrow again?
Arrow thing, yeah.
Okay. And we are joined. She is a sci-fi author, and she has been on Super Geeked Up before. It is Marisa Wolf.
Hello.
Hi, thanks for coming back.
I'm happy to be here.
By the way, folks, Marisa actually will also be on tomorrow's edition of the season finale of Super Geeked Up.
Awesome.
Surprise!
Get her twice in 1 week.
So great for everyone.
And hello to listeners mate Johnny, Lizzie, and Kathy. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Okay, there you go. Lizzie says hello to everybody.
Oh, hi.
So does Johnny. Thank you guys for watching. Again, we're talking Wonder Woman 1984. So I just right off the bat, I'll tell you folks, we're gonna dive deep into all different parts of the movie. There will absolutely be spoilers during the show. Okay, so I'm warning you just in advance in case some of you haven't seen it. But if you don't care, then great, and join us, and we'll talk about our thoughts on it. We'll try to hit things we liked, things we didn't like. We always want to hear your thoughts, though. We definitely want to hear, particularly if you disagree with us, we would love to hear different comments. I'm hoping some people out there enjoyed it more than I did, because I would love to hear that. Although I will point out some things I did enjoy about the movie. Before we get into that, we like to do our super tweet question. Marx, what is that?
Oh, it is...
You just came up with it, so you should read it or say it.
Besides Wonder Woman, who's your favorite female superhero?
Okay, folks. So, yes, besides Wonder Woman, your favorite superhero can be from any universe. Doesn't have to be DC. And share your thoughts. We love to do it. Hey, Tammy, so great to see you. Tammy, by the way, I think Wonder Woman is one of her all-time favorite characters. So great to see you here. Listener says, yep, he hasn't seen the movie, but he knows about spoilers. Okay, great. All right, favorite female superhero except Wonder Woman, and then we will dive into the movie. Marisa, we'll start with you.
Storm.
Oh, good choice.
Thanks. I feel pretty solid about it.
Why do you love Storm?
I love the whole weather goddess thing. I love that she went from like queen and goddess to ruler of the Morlocks. That was pretty cool. And then I really enjoy her. And when I was a kid reading comics, just the name Aurora was just so beautiful. So
in the comics, didn't she marry Black Panther in the comics at some point?
She did.
Cool.
All right, let's see. We got some answers coming in here. Listener's mate says, Jennifer Walters, duh. He knows I know that very well, but that he loves the Green Lady, so that's She-Hulk. I'm excited for the She-Hulk show.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Tatiana Maslany, man. She's awesome.
Lizzie says, Sailor Moon is one of my favorites. Excellent. Planet Johnny says, Spider-Woman Jessica Drew. I also dig her. That's a good choice, Johnny.
Pretty great.
All right, excellent. Marx, who are you going with? You can't say Martian Manhunter, which is his answer to everything.
No, Martian Manhunter.
Fair.
I mean, he could be a woman, but
he could be. So
he could be whoever he wants.
If I picked a non-traditional superhero, I guess it would be Buffy.
Nice.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Nice.
That's my favorite one. I guess for a traditional superhero, whenever Jessica Drew was mentioned, that actually reminded me when I was a kid, I found a bunch of graphic novels of Spider-Woman and just became obsessed about Jessica Drew for a while there when I was a kid. So she's a good character. We need to see her more in live action.
I agree, man. Like, you don't really see Jessica Drew much. I've always liked her a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're going to have 85 Spider-Men in the next Spider-Man movie, so maybe
right?
Maybe we'll get a Spider-Man. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I know everyone's like, I don't know. It's like, oh, people, I guess, really like Spider-Gwen, but give me Jessica Drew, man.
Yeah.
Why not both?
Yeah, exactly. You can have them all.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kathy says Phoenix. Excellent. Jean Grey there. Scorpio. Hey, Scorpio. Thanks for watching. By the way, Scorpio says he and his girlfriend just finished watching Wonder Woman earlier tonight, 1984. So perfect timing. Nice. He says, I've been digging Scarlet Witch since she came to the MCU, and you're going to get to see her in WandaVision, and I think in about a week or so, right?
Yeah.
Lister's mate says, I forgot, I'm watching you on my 40-inch TV. Well, that's the way to do it. Get our heads nice and big. Tammy says, Xena and Red Sonja. Two ladies I like a lot.
Nice.
Great choices. Tammy. Lister's mate says, it's so high def his TV, he can see one white hair on Marx's soul patch.
Oh, wow.
Don't worry, Marx. I got you.
I know.
I got plenty of gray hair.
Pandemic's been rough on me. I've got a lot more gray hair now. It's terrible.
Carrie, hey Carrie, thanks for watching. Chitara, she's swift, wise, and was not bad looking. You know, for a cartoon Catwoman. Speaking of Catwoman, Catwoman is my fave anti-hero.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well, good. Those are great because we're going to talk about Cheetah today on Wonder Woman 1984. So that was great.
Cheetah, but not Chitara.
Right.
Well,
Chitara, I prefer Chitara to Cheetah.
But they're cousins.
They're at least
one went bad, and
yeah.
Johnny likes watching on TV. Good call. Okay, good. I mean, you guys can watch this whatever you want. I'm cool. Phone, tablet, computer, TV, movie screen. I don't think you're doing that, but drive-in. That would be great.
That would be great, right?
Hey guys, the snack bar is closing in 30 minutes. If you're watching, so
Get ready.
Okay. Okay, Lister May says he likes you. That's why he's picking on you, by the way.
Okay, thank you.
Female superhero. I'm going to go Huntress. I really love me some Huntress. I think she's a great character. I love her uniform. And I also like some of the incarnations of her. Like I enjoyed we've talked about this, Marx. I think Birds of Prey, right?
Yeah.
The short-lived series. I'm sorry. I mean, I have not seen the Birds of Prey movie. I'm sorry. I should specify. The Birds of Prey TV show back in the day is what I was referring to. And I also liked her in Arrow, which we've always complained we never got to see her really again after that.
That's weird, right?
Yeah. But I thought they did a cool job with her.
Yeah. You haven't seen the movie Birds of Prey, right?
No.
She's okay in that. She's kind of, it's one of
Seems
those
like a different version of her, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Sort of.
I mean, she's doing this same stuff as her character did originally in the comic books, but she's sort of like, she's one of those unintentionally funny characters. Like,
oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting take on her.
Got it.
But like, if I could tell you this, right? It's this joke thing, right? So
Let's say go ahead. I don't care.
She's like killing people, and every time she kills them, she keeps saying like, "I'm the Huntress," and stuff like that. And they're all like, "Who? Who are you? What?" Nobody can remember her character's name.
Oh no. Poor Huntress.
She's like, I'm the Huntress, damn it.
Well, she keeps killing the people she tells, so how will people know?
I know that doesn't help.
That's why you need to leave somebody alive so they can go run and tell everyone.
Yeah. Good business.
Tammy says, I have the Birds of Prey series and it comes with Gotham Girls cartoons.
Cool.
Oh, is that a new release of it? Because I had the DVD and that Gotham Girls wasn't even out then. So maybe this is a new release of this. That's cool.
It's on. I think it's on HBO Max now too.
Oh, we're the Birds of Prey series. Mm-hmm. I have HBO Max. All right, good.
Oh, cool.
Alex says, Alex, thank you. You're right. She was amazing in the Justice League Unlimited animated series. They did a great job with her in that, actually.
Didn't she team up with Question?
They had a little romance going on. That's and cool. I love Question. Like, those are two of my favorite characters. It was great.
So good.
Oh, wait, who said, Johnny said Power Girl and not just for the boob window. Okay.
I mean,
And Scorpio says he has never read a single Power Girl issue. What am I missing? I have not. I was never a big fan of Power Girl either. So, Johnny, you can tell us what we're missing.
Yeah. It's
she's the
Supergirl, right?
She's the Earth 2 Supergirl, right?
Yeah.
But you don't find that out until long after she premiered. So.
Oh, okay.
It's like
years. A bunch of years ago. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, you can keep telling us female superheroes you enjoy, but we'll get into Wonder Woman 1984. So, all right, let's. I guess we can start with overall thoughts, right? Maybe, and then we'll kind of dive into more specific things. And again, folks, we definitely want to hear your opinions, what you thought of it. Oh, by the way, Johnny says yes. Power Girl is the alternate Earth Supergirl, and I just found that really interesting. I do dig all the different parallel universe stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Marisa, again, you're our guest, so we'll start with you. I guess kind of just overall brief thoughts. What do you think?
Overall, I felt about it. I wanted to like it so much more than I did, and it was really long, like just really long to be as as it was.
Okay.
But there were moments I loved, and I'm excited to talk about those too.
Okay, good. Marx?
I'll be opposite. It's wonderful. No, it was.
It was awesome.
It's better than some of the other DC movies for me. It was nowhere near as good as the first Wonder Woman movie, for example. And there's some good stuff in it though. And yeah, I was excited. That's why I got HBO Max. Or it was that, and then I really wanted to watch Lovecraft Country on there, so that's why I got HBO Max. So.
Yeah.
Nice. Yes, it it did definitely. They said increase their subscribers quite a bit, and apparently it's already the most, I guess, streamed thing of the whole year.
Thing.
Well, like content thing,
Like of 2021?
Of 2020.
Oh,
Actually, 2020.
okay.
2021 would not be a hard thing to
Yeah, I mean, okay.
No, because they mentioned, assuming this article was correct, they said it beat Hamilton over on Disney Plus for how many people streamed it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I don't believe it.
Well, I mean, I do actually, just because I think because Wonder Woman was so popular, the first movie, right, and a lot of people did not get to go to the theater, right? So.
Yeah.
So you know what it tells me is they need to do a Hamilton Wonder Woman musical combo.
That's it. That's the third movie. That's what they're gonna do.
You can get Supergirl and Flash to reply from the TV universe to reprise the musical episode part. It'll be great. Everyone wins.
Which is still probably my favorite. One of my favorite things ever from the Arrowverse. Definitely my favorite crossover.
It was pretty great, I have to say.
He says, like, all right, we're on the main event now. That's right, Scorpio. Johnny says he wanted to love the movie, but to me it was 2 of 5 stars. And we will give our special ratings at the end there, folks. But thank you, Johnny. Did anyone see it in theaters, or did we all stream it? Scorpio says, I think all of us streamed it. Is that right?
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
But you can tell us in the chat. There aren't any movie. Well, that's not true. There are 2 movie theaters open here, so I guess I could have seen it if I really wanted to. But I was content to. I already had HBO Max, so. Aha! Here's Zendria. Loved her, saw it in Christmas, but the story wasn't holding traction for me. Steve could not have showed up, and I'd have been happy. And I'm so over the damsel in distress stuff. Good point, Zen. She said she also streamed it. Alicia's May, by the way, also has hard to believe about Hamilton. So he's with you there. So I'm with you guys. I love the first Wonder Woman. And so for me, this one, it's all about the writing to me. This thing fell apart in the writing stage. And I think it was a huge mess. And I think that contributed to the whole movie not succeeding. Which maybe we can get into because we might as well kind of dive into overall maybe story, plot stuff. Just to let people know, since I have the IMDb up here, this Wonder Woman movie, 1984, was written by Patty Jenkins, Jeff Johns, and Dave Callahan. Of course, Patty Jenkins directed both of them. The original Wonder Woman was written by Alan Heinberg from a story by Zack Snyder, Heinberg, and Jason Fuchs. So a totally different writing team and story concept team on this movie. And I really wish they just had brought Alan Heinberg back to write this one, because I think he did a really good job on the first one.
Yeah, he did, right?
Yeah.
So...
This is one of those Hollywood problems that annoy me, where it's like director is amazing, and they ignore the writers sometimes. And they're just like, yeah, somebody wrote something, I don't care. It's a director, it's great.
But also, like, they don't care. Like, they'll just shoot whatever, and it'll make whatever sense. I have a rant built up, but I'll save it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I totally agree. You're right. I mean, Marx, you and I are, well, we're all writers. So I don't think writers get enough credit in the film world. Sorry, let me share, where's my cursor here? Ariella, thank you for joining us, Ariella. She says the action was great in both, but yes, the writing could have been better in the second movie. Ariel's a writer as well, actually. Scorpio says, initial thoughts, I thought I had all the camp and charm of the old Superman movies, but yikes, was it all over the place. Mm-hmm. He thinks they gave Patty Jenkins. So, I mean, I think Patty Jenkins is a really good director. Again, I think she did a great job with the first one. From this one, I think I'd prefer her just keep directing and then writing. But again, I don't even know. Here's the thing. I'll be honest with you, though.
Yeah.
It's not just her. Obviously, there was 3 people writing this movie. So, and I've never been a fan of Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns is one of the super old school DC writer. I think he's head of actually the DC movie maybe side of things. I want to say.
Might be.
Oh, there's somebody in charge.
And I know a lot of people love him because he's been writing forever, and I've never really been a fan of his stuff. And I didn't like it when he went in and wrote a couple things for Smallville. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not surprised I don't really like this story because I usually don't like the stuff he writes. And I'm sure a lot of people do. I mean, did you guys ever read any of his comic stuff?
I mean, not that I recognize.
Yeah.
I have, but I can't remember why.
Yeah, okay.
Just
I know, but what did you guys think? I mean, I don't know. I guess just the whole plot of the villains and stuff I thought was just so goofy and it's nonsensical. Like, what a strange thing to choose as a plot. You know, I guess I just felt.
Yeah.
What did you think, Marisa?
I mean, I don't mind goofy. I love the Superman movies with their camp and their awesomeness. It's the best Lex Luthor. Although John Cryer, fabulous Lex Luthor. But so I like the camp, but I don't actually think it was very campy. Like, it just felt dumb. Like, it was just one. I kind of wish they didn't do something in between the first Wonder Woman movie and Justice League, because it's basically like Wonder Woman learns the same lesson again, but then stays in hiding again for another 30 years. And that just doesn't feel like Wonder Woman. Like, her dude shows up and teaches her the same lesson, which she already learned it from her mom like 100 years ago, but whatever. But then she still doesn't learn it because she's still in hiding when Justice League happens. It made me sad about her.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the problem with immortals. They take a long time to learn.
Yeah, I guess that was like puberty. I don't know. That like my first college boyfriend I can't let go of for 50 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me share some of the chat here. Alex says, I hope that isn't the issue because I'm really excited for the Patty Jenkins Star Wars movie. She's doing a Rogue Squadron, I believe, right? I'm excited about that. Again, I think Patty Jenkins is very talented. So I'm just, I mean, every director has a stinker, right? Or one that maybe we don't like as much.
Well, it's also about genre, right? How much does Patty Jenkins really embrace or know the superhero genre? That's what I'm kind of wondering.
Although sometimes I think that's actually better. Like, I actually personally think Nolan's one of the best ones who's done it. And I don't think, I've always said Bone never wanted to make a Batman movie. He just wanted to make a great movie that starred Batman. That happened to have Batman in it.
Well, yeah. But I think, because I saw some people feel like the first hour of it felt less superhero and more like a dramedy or something like that, or a drama comedy.
It's probably because there was a long stretch where she was not in costume at all. That's probably why they felt that way.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's certain things that happen in there that if you know superhero genre or fantasy a lot, like the whole possessing the body of what you call it, of that one person we never found the name to, right? Never really said his name.
Oh, the guy Steve Trevor takes over?
Yeah, stuff like that.
They said he's just credited as handsome man in the credits, apparently.
The moral implications of it are something that if you were into fantasy and stuff, you would think about. Like you would think, oh yeah, I would think two steps further with that.
Yeah.
But if you're newer to the genre, you'd be like, yeah, it's a brilliant idea, cool, and you won't really think about some of the ripple effects of that. So.
Okay, yeah, well, we definitely want to talk. I want to talk about the whole Steve Trevor. Yeah, we'll come back to the Steve Trevor thing for sure. Scorpio questions why every superhero sequel does the lose their powers plot.
Good question.
He wants to know where her shield and sword was. This was a very lasso intense movie.
It was,
which I didn't mind. I actually thought Patty and those stunt guys did some very creative things with the lasso.
They did.
Yeah.
And actually, the action scenes Johnny actually said he didn't enjoy it, but that's one of the things I thought were well done. Patty Jenkins, I think, definitely knows how to do some cool action scenes. Let's see here. Let's just maybe Eloy says, we all know writers don't get enough credit. It seems like director can do whatever they want without how the writer is intended.
I mean, it could have been anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Let's see here. What does Zen say? I think the story and director had too much interference from the studio. I mean, Chris Pine probably had to fulfill a contract requirement. That could have been held over until the next movie. All right.
Also, she's related to literal gods. They could have worked in some like underworld stuff, right? Like, you could still use Chris Pine. He's super charming. They have great chemistry, but this was not the way. Opposite of The Mandalorian, you guys. Not the way.
Nice. Tammy says it took itself way too seriously in moments that should have been camp. The comedic timing was off. There are better campy villains they could have used. Minerva and Lord are not the best choice for campy villains. Plus, I really don't like Kristen Wiig in anything ever. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Wait, Baby Supergirl is up there with Baby Yoda with me now? Who's Baby?
Oh, Baby Wonder Woman?
Oh, the young Wonder Woman. Okay, yes. Thank you. You know what? Great segue. Let's talk about the opening scene for a minute. Because maybe some people have more positive things about this part of it.
I think Baby Yoda's cuter.
I agree.
It's the big ears.
It's pretty great.
So the opening scene is back on Themyscira, and her competing in an Amazonian contest as a young girl. What did you guys think? So I don't think I liked this as much as most people did, but what would you guys think about that scene?
Go ahead, Marx.
Yeah, Marx, you want to start us off?
I liked parts of it. I felt like it went too long, and it was also too obvious the theme lesson it was trying to give. So
Yeah.
I bet the best theme lessons are ones where you didn't really catch it until the end of it, and you go, oh, that's how that connects. I get it. I instantly knew, like, oh well, guess it's gonna be about this,
Well, yeah, because then
lasso heavy.
Because Antiope just says it to her, right, or Hippolyta too, or something.
A little too straightforward with it, yeah.
Johnny says I was okay with the open. Scorpio. Okay, so Scorpio. I mean the training scene one when he's on Themyscira is the one I'm referring to. Yeah, I agree with you. It was too long. I honestly don't even think it was needed. Like that scene I think could have been. I mean, look, I love seeing Themyscira and all the Amazons and Hippolyta and Antiope, like Colleen Nielsen, Robin Wright. They're great in those roles. Mm-hmm. So it's not like it was bad seeing them, but like why is that necessary? Like I don't know. Like you're right. It felt heavy-handed. I also felt like I don't know for me, but it felt like they were moving really slowly through the obstacle course.
It was, yeah.
And because these are Amazons, right? And if I think of the first Wonder Woman or Justice League, the Amazons are like amazing. They should be like the most amazing warriors around. They're going full out. They're like, oh my God. And for me, I'm like, these people don't look that great, really. Like, I guess they were initiates, but still, right? Like, I don't know.
I mean, they were competing against a 5-year-old, so maybe they weren't the top of the Amazons yet.
Yeah, just strides.
Holding back.
Yeah.
Just their height should have given them an advantage, but
you think? I know.
bad.
I don't know.
I guess it's from a directorial standpoint. I guess it could have been like shot in a different way. I felt to make it more intense.
Yeah, and it was too long, too many steps, to watch it for the beginning opening. Reminds me of like the pod racing and the Phantom Menace. You're just like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, come on.
Look at our cool effects. Yeah,
I'm sorry, Marisa. What were you saying?
I want more Amazons. I love Themyscira. I love seeing General Princess Bride. Like they all make me so happy. But I hate when they're like, I'm going to give you the theme. Let me tell you the theme right now. And you know it, but the heroine isn't going to know it until the end dramatically, even though we told her when she was 5. Like it just, I don't know. It hurt my feelings a little bit. Like I just wanted better for everybody involved. But it's cool. Like while it was happening, I was like, oh, it's so pretty. And then I thought about it and it was less. Yeah.
I mean, the action scene was better than the second opening in the mall. That felt a little too campy, comedic, and
okay. So we'll talk about that in 1 second. Let me just share some comments before we move on to that. No, that's a great segue though. Ariel says Xena moves faster than these Amazon women, and Amazons were in Xena too. They showed up a bunch in Xena. Let's see here. Carrie says, to be honest, I like the opening, and more honestly, I'd like to see a whole Themyscira movie. I'm 100% down with that.
Agree.
Alex makes a good point, though. I think you're not thinking of it as like a full-blown marathon, not an obstacle course. So I think maybe he's saying it's more like a marathon.
Yeah, it was like a triathlon.
That's why they can't go full out the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I understand that point, Alex. Scorpio's down with a 2-hour Themyscira movie. Mm-hmm. Johnny says, I look forward to the mall scene, he meant, because he said it afterwards, but it was so dumb and weak, been there. So, okay, let's talk about the mall scene. And Marx, you said you thought it was too campy?
Yeah, I thought it was a little too campy. It also it contradicts as much of it about what we learned about Justice League, about how she's supposed to have been like away from humans for 100 years or whatever. So obviously she wasn't. And I don't know if that's like a soft reboot thing that they're trying to change. But it just seemed forced. Like she's like, for one thing, if she wants to hide, like she destroys those cameras, why don't you like not fight in your costume? It's like that would be one thing. And then it was just, and then because it again they tied it in with the Dreamstone, with that mall robbery thing, and it just felt forced, too much of a coincidence for that to happen. Mm-hmm. So I think you could have just gotten rid of the mall scene and been fine. And yeah,
Marisa, what do you think?
Destroying security cameras after you're on them isn't how it works. I was very angry about that. Like we're not Bigfoot. They're not going to get blurry, and then you destroy them.
But the lasso, maybe the lasso distorts the recording.
Like retroactively destroyed. It was very
her tiara of forgetfulness.
I seriously yelled, like, that's not how cameras work. But it's fine. I think they could have, this is where like writing matters, right? Like, sure, we don't really see her in her costume a lot, but this is the time, like, apparently she's in the people world, fine. So she's normal lady at a mall in 1984, and then a kid is put into danger, and she has to sneakily find a way to save the kid before the kid gets hurtled off the second floor. But like, she shows up in full costume. She's Spider-Man-ing all over the place. I was just, again, and like, the kid's not going to talk about it because she was like, that's the coolest thing that little kid has ever seen. That girl's going to talk about it. Like, anyway, it's fine. It's not fine. I'm so angry about it.
It made for a nice poised shot of her holding that guy.
She was gorgeous. It was beautiful. But it didn't fit. Like, they could have tweaked it and it could have worked, but they didn't. And that made me mad because it was just wasted. It just wasted it.
Jalou just joined us. Hey, Jalou. He says, sorry for my tardiness. Looking forward to the spoilers. Okay, good. Because he said, I haven't watched the 2017 one, nor do I plan to watch this one. Okay, so he's all cool. He'll spoilers.
Fair enough.
And Carrie says, you can't have an 80s movie without a mall scene. Good point.
You can't have the 80s without a mall. That's fair. I'm with it.
So, interestingly, I thought this was the scene I wasn't going to like, because this is the first scene I saw like at Comic-Con and from like some trailers. And I was like, that doesn't look that great. I'm a little worried about the movie. But I actually kind of liked the scene overall, to be honest with you. And maybe just because I wasn't expecting much from it going into the scene. I don't know. I still thought overall it was fun. There's some fun action. She gets to do some cool swinging around her lasso stuff, I don't know. All your points are very valid. I guess for all that other stuff with the cameras and stuff, I was like, whatever. It's a nonsense superhero thing. I'll just go by, just pretend I didn't see. So I don't know. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It is kind of campy, but I still kind of enjoyed it.
Because they were pretty bumbly robbers too.
Yeah,
like, they were over the top bumbly.
Running up the escalator. Good time.
Right. But I do kind of enjoy though how, except one, the rest of the robbers were trying to stop the robber from dropping the kid.
Yeah,
that was nice. So they were like not terrible people,
Just one of them. Just one of them. Yeah. I would say the thing I think that I'm so mad about, that was the part where I was so sad it wasn't a whole movie in Themyscira. Like, if she had gone home after the events of World War I and the movie took place there and like it made her realize she had to go back into the real world, like that was the moment where I was like, oh, this just doesn't make sense for her. And I was sad. And I don't know why I expected more from DC movie universe, because like earlier, I wasn't entirely joking when I said someone's in charge of this. It's, I don't know why I expected more because I liked the first one so much. And this was the moment I was like, why didn't you just go back to the island? Anyway.
Yeah. Or, you're right. They set the bar high. But I honestly, I'm not sure. I love the 80s. It's my favorite decade, but I don't sure why they set it in the 80s. Like, why not set it maybe a little bit ahead of where you just were, right?
Yeah.
or decade or a couple decades instead of jumping 70 years.
I mean, thematically, that's the me generation. So I guess that's why it ties in with Max Lord really well.
Oh, got it.
But for that reason. But yeah, otherwise, I don't think.
Well, I don't even think Max Lord should have. I'll get to the villains in later.
Oh, I do want to say one thing when I think about it. We talked about Jeff Johns and what else he's written. He did create Stargirl, and he's head of that show. So he created the character Stargirl.
Oh.
So
Yeah, no, I mean, he is one of him and like Grant Morrison, two of the probably biggest DC writers over the years in terms of how much content they've written for the comics. And he's been involved in almost every, I think, TV. I mean, he's involved in all the Arrowverse shows. Mm-hmm. He's not the showrunner of any of them, except I guess maybe Stargirl he is, I guess, or he created it. I think he is,
yeah.
Well, okay, so maybe because I still have to watch Stargirl, so maybe I will like that thing. That looks good to me. Everybody tells me it's really good. So
yeah, you'll like it, I think.
So maybe I'll like something he did. That's good. Well, because I don't want to hate everything. Jeez, that's the guy does. Zen says, granted, the part where she's thrown into the teddy bear was so cute.
Yep.
Tammy liked the mall scene overall. All right. Hey, James Cox. James has been a former guest on Super Geeked Up and a filmmaker. My wife and I dug the movie at home as a COVID-era date night, but that may say more about our summer blockbuster starvation than the film's inherent quality. That said, I've got more positive feeling overall. Okay, good. Yeah. I'm glad some people are enjoying it. I forget what I made a good point about, but thank you, Scorpio. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Johnny thinks it would have been better received if it was in June and there was no pandemic. That's an interesting point. And then Carrie says, did we learn how Max Lord knew about the Wish Stone? I may have missed that. So the Dream Stone, right?
Yeah. He'd been researching it for a long time. I think that's all I knew.
Okay.
That's all they told us, yeah.
Hey, comics are fun. Thanks for joining us. It's DC Action Hour, assemble. Oh, mixing a little DC and Marvel there. Very nice. I like to see what you did there.
Nice.
Oh, okay. He says, so are you saying, Johnny, that he didn't know about it until he went there? I felt like he already knew before he went, right?
He knew.
No,
He went. He was flirting with her to try to get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Zen says they could have done some Cold War stuff. Mm-hmm. That was the right time for it.
Mm-hmm.
There's nukes, lots of nukes. That's about the only reference.
Okay, so Alex has an interesting point. Half of the critiques here could translate to Patty Jenkins should have filmed this with modern sensibilities instead of literally mimicking the 80s down to using actual period cameras. Actual. I guess actual. Actual. Yeah, sorry. There it is. That's a good point, Alex. Thank you for all. Yeah, that's a very well said point. Thank you for all these points. Keep them coming, folks. Okay, so just so you know, comics are fun. There will be spoilers here since you haven't seen it. Just want to warn people that. All right, there we go. So that was the mall and the opening stuff. What do you want to talk about? Villains next, or Steve, or what do you guys want to chat?
Steve's the whole thing. Maybe we should go villains first.
Okay, let's go. Or you know what? How about this? Let's talk. I'm trying hard to find something that we can say more positive things about. Okay. Maybe let's talk action scenes first. How about that? I can say positive stuff about action scenes.
Also, Gal Gadot is awesome. I love her.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah, I love her expressions. I love everything she brings to the scenes. She seemed a lot more physical this movie, and I'm guessing it's because she was pregnant in the first one. But this one, she's just, I don't know, it was awesome. Everything she did is I was just pumped. I really enjoy her. I think she's incredibly well cast. I'd be okay if they had someone a little more Gina Carano beefy-ish. But Gal Gadot is amazing. So that's my excitement.
She is amazing. Yeah. She captures the character well.
Yeah.
So.
Hello, Jackson. Thank you so much for watching. Says, anyone get mad Violet vibes from The Incredibles when Wonder Woman made the plane invisible?
Nice.
Very nice.
I do now. That's great.
Yeah, I didn't think about it before, but that's a good point. Nice one.
I like it.
I'm with you. Particularly in the first one, man, I loved Gal Gadot. I was like, oh, she's the perfect Wonder Woman. So this is so good. So I didn't like her quite as much in this one. Again, that may just overall be more just the poor writing of the whole thing that was bugging me. But I agree with you. I think she's great in this role. It's great casting. I'm a big fan of hers. Go ahead. Sorry.
And I have to say, Pedro Pascal has become one of my new favorite actors.
He's
He's in everything right now. So
Yeah.
I love how so vastly different this role was from Mandalorian, and like this should show what a great actor he is. Even though I thought the role was ridiculous, but it's not to say that he didn't do a good job and have a lot of fun with it.
yeah, and I saw him in another film a few months ago on one of the streaming platforms. It's I can't remember the name of it right now. It's one word, but it's like a sci-fi, almost Western feel to it. Prospect, I think, is the name of it.
Oh, nice.
And he plays kind of a bad guy in it, kind of a bad guy, sort of kind of a good guy kind of deal. And he did a really great job in it. That movie was like, it was so-so. It was a lower budget. It's had its good and bad points, but he was definitely the best part of it all. His performance is great.
Nice. Scorpio says, by the way, nicely done, Marisa. So I
Thanks.
enjoyed your last thing.
Okay.
I know, unfortunately, by the time I get to these, I'm never sure what points we made, but we appreciate that, folks. Jack, of course, man, we appreciate everybody who watches the show, Jackson. Johnny says, I love Gal. Alex says, she's more world weary in this, Jeff, so I can see that. That's getting an excellent point. You're right. Yeah. I think I loved the first one, her, like, I don't know, just zeal for, like, I guess maybe you could call it naivete, I suppose, but I loved it. Like that she had so much hope for like humanity, and she wanted humanity to be better than it was. And that's particularly after seeing so many dark superhero stuff, I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what I want in a superhero. Right. And you're right. It's not.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
She was sort of like the fish out of water, right? And in that movie, which I guess Trevor kind of was in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. They flip roles. Yeah.
They flipped roles in some ways. And then, but I think maybe it's different for you. But for me, like the moral, like I see her as a very moral character, like especially in that first movie. And that's what really gave me a lot of problems about Trevor and other stuff like that I felt like didn't seem true to her, what would be true to her character.
Sure. Yeah, we'll definitely get to that. Carrie says, I love what Wonder Woman is about. She's a god, can go toe-to-toe with Superman, and is actually a more skilled fighter. But her superpower is compassion and empathy, and Gal captures and demonstrates that so well.
Agreed.
Well said. All right. So since you brought up Pedro Pascal, I mean, you guys may know this because you may have read this in some of the same articles I did. But interesting that he was actually in the Wonder Woman TV pilot that never got picked up.
Yeah.
I found that out belatedly, yeah.
That's kind of just a funny thing that he happened to be. He was a good guy in that, but that's kind of funny. He's had 2 Wonder Woman experiences now.
That's funny. And he was in Buffy. It was one of his first acting gigs. Was one appearance episode in Buffy.
Really?
Yeah.
Buffy.
Like her when she first came to college, she like was one of the first people she bumped into, and she bumps into him, and they have this long dialogue scene, and then he gets jumped by vampires afterwards.
Oh.
And he dies?
Awesome.
Dies or gets turned into a vampire.
Oh,
sure.
So he's a college student, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay.
It's very young.
That's really great.
Scorpio says, I think Wonder Woman in general is less of a punch the bad guy character. She can, but yeah, she saves the day with love or empathy. This movie brought that across. Cool. All right. I agree.
Yeah. I agree, but I'll wait.
Go for it.
No, I agree. And I did love that. Like, I loved that she was talking through the lasso the whole time. It doesn't entirely make sense to me, but I loved it. But I think this is where I am so hung up on the writing of it. And I do think, if we had seen it in a theater, like Blockbuster, I might have felt a little differently about it. But the whole, like, what if some people made good wishes? Not everybody made selfish wishes, right? Like, what about the guy who's like, I wish my wife doesn't have cancer? Or like I saw, it was on like text from superheroes, so it's ridiculous. But like Bruce Wayne's like, yeah, I remember the Wishstone debacle of 1984. I wish my parents would be alive. But then they came back in somebody else's body, and I immediately renounced my wish. And like, just, I don't know. I think they could have done such more interesting stuff there. And I was totally okay with her making a selfish wish. I think she deserved one. And I did like her little issue of like, don't I get to be selfish once? Like, don't I get that? But I think the way they went about it was just really cheesy.
Well, I don't think she wasn't even aware she was making a wish, and she did it, right?
But when she had him,
right,
and she wanted to keep, like, I get it, except for the consent issue. But it's okay. We'll get there.
It's like, this guy has a whole life, huh? Oh well, let's have sex.
Too bad. In his bed. It's not gonna be weird when he comes back. It's fine.
It's okay. I just see you as Trevor, so it's okay.
It's okay that we do whatever we want with this other dude's body and make fun of all his clothes. Okay, great.
By the way, so Alex says, sorry, I'm trying to find this here. See, so what I read, they were dedicated to shooting as if they were shooting a movie in the 80s, which is why the camp is the way it is. They would have done better to just do a modern movie that took place in the 80s, it sounds like. Interesting. Okay.
Or just wrote it better.
Or just make it modern. I think it's still a theme that works today, you know?
Yes, he says the story's just plain dumb. Yeah, I mean, the whole wish thing, I was not digging and all that stuff.
Agreed, Scorpio. I just saw his.
Let's see here. About this kid, the kid cashing 3 wishes.
Yes.
Oh, because Zen says, what was the wish that Lord's kid made? It was so fast I didn't hear it. Well, did he just wish to have his dad back or something? What?
At the end, yeah.
Okay, let's see here. So James Cox has he says a weird nitpick about the score. Interesting. Oh, yes, Hans Zimmer was the composer, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. So they used that from the movie Sunshine to score the flying stuff? Okay, interesting. All right. So let's see. Okay, so we talked about Gal Gadot. That was good. We like that. We like her.
She's good. We like her.
All right, now let's get to the villains, I guess. I guess we'll start with Max Lord. What'd you guys? So, Marks, what'd you think?
I mean, I like the actor Pedro Pascal quite a bit, and I love how he can change himself for every role, and he did pretty good for what he had, his material. but yeah, it just kind of fell apart with him once he wished on the Dreamstone, and then he was just like, I gotta get more wishes, and it just, the motivations of the character and what he was really trying for and what was the end game here and everything got lost in that whole mess, you know. And
because I guess he just kind of wanted to show people he wasn't a failure, I guess was what I was getting out of that, his motivation.
But then he was fixing his health, and then he wanted to blow everything up.
Yeah, that's the problem. He just went over the place with that, and it lost a lot of got chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what do you think, Marisa, about Max?
I mean, it was that, like, I was in it with the whole, like, I want to prove him not a loser. So I almost said lawyer. I'm sorry.
He's not a lawyer either, actually.
He also was not a lawyer. He did prove that. But so, like, that when he was just like going out to get more and more success, I was like, okay, I'm with that. But then it was, I'll replace my health if I have to take it from each of you individually. And I was like, are you dying? Were you dying before? Is that a thing? And then it was, I just want more. And it would have been this is where it's like, is it corrupting him? Like, he's the Dreamstone, but he's being corrupted. I just want, like, some things you can make more obvious. And that might have been one of them. I'm like, why was he all over the place? But
Johnny says he's a great actor, but too cartoonish a character. There's definitely, that to it.
Yeah, Max Lord, though, in the comic books is pretty over the top when he first started, because he created the Justice League International, which is like the comedic Justice League team. So I was okay with that to a point.
Tammy says the kid wanted his dad there. There were so many wish that would contradict each other. Like, how many people wanted to be president or king or queen, etc.
No.
And then, Carrie had asked how Barbara got 2 wishes. And Scorpio says the second Barbara wish wasn't a granted one for a cost. Lord used his power gained from other wishes to give her more power to make her a better sidekick or something, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I got.
That's what I got out of it, too. Okay, and Zen says, I think Barbara got 2 wishes because of the 2 states of the stone, my guess. Oh, cool. Well, because one time it was on the actual stone, and then it was he became the stone afterwards.
Well,
right?
she was telling him, like, I want to be an apex predator, blah blah blah, and he goes,
I hate that line, by the way.
Yeah, and then I think he just, whenever he's making his wish or his, the trade off, I think he traded off by giving her some extra power. So that's what I think was communicated. Again, not real super clear.
No. Okay, so Cheetah, Barbara Minerva, who before I got on here, I read her kind of backstory in the comics, or her different versions of her, because I'll be honest with you, that wasn't super, probably actually from Super Friends, the 70s TV show when I was a kid is what I know Cheetah from, actually.
Super Friends.
The comic, depending on which version you're at, but they use this a couple of times. I feel it's quite interesting. She becomes like this protector, right, of this African tribe, and like something with an African god, right, and she becomes their guardian, but then she turns into a cheetah and she has to like for immortality, but she becomes cursed as a cheetah. That's kind of what I was getting from it. They've done. Obviously, they did a very different thing in this movie.
Michael Jackson and Legends a little bit for African tribe.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I guess okay, I'll let you actually. I'll let Marisa start. What did you think about Barba Cheetah?
I read an article after the movie that said it was going a little too deep for me, like looking for things, but I liked the idea of it, of like there was the competition between Cheetah and Wonder Woman. Like Wonder Woman's trying to genuinely be nice, but Cheetah can only read it as like snarky or dismissive or whatever, because like there's this inherent competition between women that society forces. And I was like, okay, that could be interesting, but that is not what happened. And like, I kind of almost wanted that to happen, like that it was some kind of real conflict between the two of them rather than the thing that it was. I mean, I liked when she was getting like sassier. That was fun. And that could be really interesting, because then Wonder Woman's like, wait, but why are you being a bitch? Like, I don't understand. We're friends. And like Cheetah's doing her alpha predator, whatever thing. But then they just made her a cat and she couldn't talk. And she got electrocuted maybe. And I don't know. But then renounced her wish still. It's wasted potential, I feel like.
I think I agree with you. Yeah, I don't. Again, both villains, I just felt their motivations were so weak. Like, so I guess she just doesn't feel accepted, right? And that's why she wants all this power and keeps.
But she's real, awkward and socially, and so she's ignored by men and stuff. And she wanted that. She felt like Wonder Woman was that alpha woman that she wanted to be, and that's why she wanted to do that first. Then, I guess she lost her humanity, her kindness and empathy and stuff with that trade. So, yeah,
which they told us, right? We didn't really see it, but then Diana's like, "What happened? But what did you trade? Where's your warmth? Where's your whatever?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, maybe you should have shown us a little more of that dinner." Like, I don't.
That's the whole, show us, don't tell us. Like, the dragon from Arrow. That was my big gripe about him in a TV series.
Oh, Richard Dragon.
He's such a great martial artist. He's so dangerous. I'm like, I have not seen anything of that in any of these scenes.
No. He was the worst. All right. Not the actor. The actor's great, but the character.
Oh, yeah, the actor's amazing.
I really like Kristen. Actually, like Kristen Wiig as Minerva Cheetah, Carrie says. And man, she was gorgeous in that black dress. I would not have turned her into Cats 2, though. Johnny says the makeup faux Cheetah was just awful. I think they were going for 80s movie. They would have used a practical effect transformation like American Werewolf in London. Tammy says they gave Minerva a lobotomy. She was Wonder Woman's equal in intellect and powers in the comics. Without the conflicting past, they would have been equals.
And that would have been interesting.
Yeah. Scorpio says Cheetah and Lord they feel like losers or waiting for the chance to finally get what they want, but they have to learn they can't take a shortcut like wishing. Okay, I got you. Let's see here. Oh, Jackson, I guess, thinks he could have been, Max Lord's son doppelganger, I think is what he's saying, when he was younger. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Zen, Minerva thought she was an outsider, didn't find her belonging with her peers. She was radicalized. Okay. She definitely didn't feel, her peers were like paying any attention to her. I think that was pretty clear.
Yeah. Her boss didn't know who she was. So it's like, oh, okay.
I mean, I get that because she's supposed to be like super smart. And like in the comics, she says she knows like 7 languages or something. She has dual degrees, like doctorate degrees or something. And I think, I don't know. Again,
she hasn't had 300 years to do it, so that's pretty cool.
So people didn't. I'll see what you guys thought about the actual Cheetah. I actually wish she became Cheetah earlier. I was actually kind of bummed. I was like, well, she's supposed to be Cheetah, and she's just wearing like leather print clothing. So like, when is she actually going to be Chum Cheetah? So I mean, I get what they're saying about the CG of it. Maybe a costume would have been better, possibly. I don't know. It wasn't terrible. What I mean, that they didn't. The scene wasn't that. I mean, she was in so. There was only one scene where she was Cheetah, basically, right? Like the fight scene at the end.
Much, yeah.
I don't know. I guess I just wanted to see her become Cheetah earlier. If that's going to be your villain or one of your villains.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. Furry characters are tough to do without looking weird, So
True.
just happens. Remember Sonic the Hedgehog in the first version they did? I mean,
Yeah. Gotta redo that whole movie, man.
I think they should have. Well, I don't know. Whenever she's just badass in leather and stuff, I just bought when they fought at the White House. That was fine with me, and then when they went CGI, it just didn't look very believable. It was also a really bad fight scene because she just, for most of that fight, Wonder Woman just covered herself with those wings and then she just teared into him. And it's like, oh boy, this is super exciting. You lost strategy fighting you.
Right?
That poor armor lasted so long until Wonder Woman wore it and tore it all up. That's why we can have nice things.
I didn't get that strategy either. Just like sit there like an armadillo until the armor's gone. What did you guys think about that arm? Sorry, excuse me. About the armor. Even before the movie, I was like, I'm not really digging this armor, man. I don't like it. And maybe it's because her normal costume in the movie is possibly my favorite superhero costume in a movie ever. I actually think they did a great job with like that Amazonian style costume of hers. I actually love it. So maybe I just like seen her in that. I don't know. I wasn't digging the gold armor. And also I feel like Wonder Woman's about agility, right? I mean, she's super strong, but she's also about agility and she's a great fighter. I feel like you can't move barely in that armor.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think of the armor? Marisa?
Yeah, it was pretty. It made for a really cool shot when she landed and the wings folded back. That was super cool. The end. I mean,
The end.
I mean, it also made me wish, like, couldn't we have done the story of her looking for the Amazon before her that went into the man's world? Like, it just gave me a hint of a better story we could have had. So
yeah, could have been better.
Good point.
yeah.
Especially
Mark's
if she wasn't a good guy, but she appears to be.
Maybe.
As Linda Carter, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't. I mean, it was fine for that one scene, but yeah, she didn't do anything with it except just block hits and then throw the wings off. I mean, didn't really do much of anything. Just to have a nice pose, I guess, for the poster or whatever. I feel like the armor was used at some point in the comics, though. Oh, was it Kingdom Come or some alternate version that they used that armor? So
That's cool.
Okay. Alex said they learned from cats and did the CG at night. Okay. Listener's Mate says, I love Kristen Wiig, but I can't see her in a movie as a supervillain. She's stick with comedies, romantic comedies. Bravo to her for overstepping her acting abilities, though.
All right.
Here's the thing. You know what? I had not really seen Kristen Wiig in much except Saturday Night Live, so I thought this was kind of an odd choice, but I thought she was good in this movie. I thought she did a good job with what she was given.
I thought she was fine.
Yeah, I mean,
CGI cats.
well, which is not her fault, obviously.
We don't even know if that was her. Honestly, that could have been anybody.
Yeah, no, I mean, I liked her acting in this. Scorpio says there's no actual cheetah. It felt more like a good old-fashioned Smallville power swap. Okay. Yeah, you're right, because she's getting Diana's powers, right? Carrie says, from what he understands, Cheetah was a mix of practical effects and CGI. Still wasn't great, and it was another fight in the dark.
Yeah.
That was rough, too. You're right. It was in the dark, and that was my least favorite fight, probably, honestly.
Yeah, it should have been really awesome, but it was pretty bland.
But that's the thought right before that is another cool thing they could have done. Like, she wished to be more like Diana, and then she is more like Diana power-wise, which she wasn't expecting, but with none of the Amazon training. So she didn't get any of the, like, here's your moral or whatever. So watching her go down a path of using those powers is overkill. Like when she beat up the whistling alcoholic dude, that would have been cool. And yeah, I didn't hate her. I thought she did fine. Like in that part, I believed it. Like I believed that she was like, oh, word? Like you want to come for me? Okay, let's do this. Like, I don't know. That could have been so cool too. And they didn't do that either.
Should have killed that guy and then been like, ooh, she's dark now.
Right. Now we're gonna watch Dark Wonder Woman. Okay, I'm in it. Like that's a trope, but I'm in for those tropes.
Carrie says the armor is more for defense, not tactical offensive fighting.
Sure.
That's what it certainly seems like. Yeah.
Not anymore.
Since you brought up Sonic, Jackson says, I remember working in a mall and seeing a kid walk around with a Build-A-Bear Sonic. I can only imagine how horrifying it would look if they went with the design of the movie of Sonic. Okay. I didn't know they had Sonics at Build-A-Bear. That's cool.
That's amazing.
Thanks for all these comments, folks. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll through them here. Alex wants to see Kristen. We're getting more serious things now. Okay, good. People I don't think are liking fights in the dark.
No.
I prefer to. It's like some of those Batman Nolan things too. Like I prefer seeing like what's happening in a fight scene.
Like the Game of Thrones battles in the last season, where you're like, what?
Right.
Is it a horse? Is it the ice guy? I don't know. Yeah.
So let's talk about the fight scenes. We've already kind of addressed some of them, the mall and the cheetah one. So I think probably my favorite was when, what country did they build a wall in? It was Egypt, right? Mm-hmm. Which is, I don't want to talk about that. Was super weird. That a wall just rose up, but and all the ramifications of that. But when she's chasing Max Lord, right, and all the military stuff, like I thought that was a really cool action sequence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that was, and she's like between the two things, right, the vehicles, and Trevor's getting into it too, right, and like that was good. That was like, this is, man, Patty Jenkins knows what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Trevor was actually helping.
He always helps. No, he's good in fight scenes, man. He was helping in the White House too.
Yeah, he did help a little bit there. Yeah.
He was punching those Secret Service guys out, man.
He had a couple good moves in that one.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I like the White House fight scene too. Actually, she had some cool moves in that. She did some cool, lasso-y whip stuff as well.
Yep.
What do you guys think of those two scenes?
Those are my two favorite, and probably the White House scene was my favorite. She did some pretty cool moves there, and the lasso. I like whenever she spun the lasso to block bullets, and then she did that swirl, shoot, push out, whatever it was, and smack somebody with it. That was
with the lasso,
cool.
Yeah.
I liked. We were a little slow at the beginning because she got shot, and we're like, "Wait, did she get shot? This is stupid. She can't be shot." And then we're like, "Oh!" It took a little while for that to kick in, so that was user error on our part. But then I really, really like the White House fight, and I like how right away she was like, "It's not their fault. You can't kill them." Like that was probably the most Wonder Woman move in the whole thing. So that was good. And Steve's like, "Oh shoot, yep, okay, good call. Won't kill him." But I enjoyed that.
Gotcha. Sorry, I'm just like, hey, Punk Pencil. Oh, it's great to see you, man. It's been a long time. He says, I don't get how she is stopped by heavy winds.
At the end,
Oh.
What is that?
He was doing his mega wish thing.
Yes.
Like, I can't get to you. I'm as strong as Superman, but I'm going to sit in this corner.
Yep.
Well, he's the Dreamstone, though, so he has all this power that he's absorbed from people.
Yeah. A lot of hot air.
There you go.
There it is.
So, all right. So, sorry. Jackson overall did enjoy the movie, though. I'm glad okay, that's good. James says we can all agree Soul was great, though, right? I haven't seen that, actually. But
I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to.
Zen says Trevor equals meh. Go back to Star Trek, bud. Right.
Is it time to talk about the Steve of it all?
Let's talk about Steve Trevor. Sure, I think it's about time.
Man, I'm gonna say we already talked about it, but I think it bears repeating. You cannot have somebody else's body and have sex in it. That is super uncool. Like, just feel like that's a line that just should be drawn. And I forgot about this. I read this in an article. But Stargate Universe. I don't know if you guys watched that.
We have. Sorry, Marx and I have. We love the Stargate shows, except we hate Universe.
You hate Universe. But
it's the other SGU.
It is. It's not. It's like they did a fan fiction of SGU, but it's cool. Or SGU. Anyway. But they did a whole storyline about that, about like using other people's bodies. I think Marx, you made this point earlier of like in fantasy, like this comes with questions. The fact that it wasn't even questioned, and then at the end it was like a heartwarming, like, I like your outfit, buddy. I was like,
yeah.
No, you used his body. It's super uncool.
Yeah, it's like, by the way, are you a little sore?
Right. You had sex with an Amazon.
You still got those scratches on your back. Oops.
God, it's not cool. Like, headline, not cool. Super not cool. And then second, I don't love that she needs Steve to give her permission to use her powers or to be herself or to do whatever. Like, he already taught her about herself in the first movie, but in a way that made sense. to do it again in the second movie, I was like,
Yeah, so great points. Here's my thing. I think Chris Pine is great as Steve Trevor. For me, he was actually the best thing in this movie, probably. And he brings I think he brings about the only comic relief, like real comic relief. That's not really super goofy. And he's very charming, right? And they're good together. But that being said, I don't think Steve Trevor should be in this movie. Like, I wish he wasn't in this movie. I honestly never wanted them to get... My really only complaint about the first Wonder Woman is I felt Steve and her should not have gotten together romantically. It was too rushed. I just wanted them to be friends, good comrades. And again, the comic books shows, unfortunately, and Marx, you and I have talked about this, about Iris and Barry and the Flash, right? Like, I never wanted... I know a lot of people love it, but I never wanted in the show Iris to get together with Barry. Like, never. It didn't make sense to me. Patty all the way. All right, anyway. Patty Spivot. But I feel like these shows and movies cannot, like, shake those comic book things, right? Like, she's supposed to get with Steve, so we have to do it, right? And we have to keep putting him in these movies. And I wish they would just stop doing that. And, like, no, you don't. And I've even read, obviously this is so early, but in the third one, they're thinking about having him come back. And I'm like, please don't. Please just stop.
It's a little silly, yeah.
Like, he's dead. Just let him rest in peace.
Yeah. Well, he was a romantic interest in the comic books.
Sorry. I'm saying it would be stronger for her to just be her own. Yes, not where you have Steve in the movie.
Yeah, because it kind of fails the Bechdel test. Whatever am I saying?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the movie is about her and Trevor and about her feelings about him and stuff. Oh, and so is, the motivations of Cheetah too, right? She's all about, like, I want to attract guys and stuff, and it's like it kind of falls into the stereotype, which is funny because it's a woman writing it, and it's like you're falling into these stereotypes. So, yeah, I think it could have. He was funny, but yeah, he shouldn't have come back, at least not in that way. And I like the actor. I know I worked with that actor. Like, I drove him around stuff for
Chris Pine,
Christopher Balaha, who plays the handsome man.
The handsome man.
Handsome guy.
So, oh my God, handsome man. That's amazing.
Handsome man. He's a super nice guy and super friendly guy. And it's funny. One story about him is that at the time he was doing that TV show with Sarah Michelle Gellar on CW. I can't remember what the name of it was.
The one season one, like, right? That
twins of them. And he's like, "Hey, have you seen that?" And I go, I saw a little bit of it, and kind of like he's going, "Oh man!" And I go, I mean, you're great in it and stuff. I'm just saying, I don't understand how that concept's going to last past one season." And then they got canceled. He's
like, that guy ruined it. Stupid driver.
But
now he's like
one now, so he's got a series and stuff. So
what's he on?
It's on a TV show called Mystery 101 on Hallmark Mysteries. So.
I didn't know you knew him. We should have had him as a guest on the show.
Well, I'm not like best buds with him, but yeah.
I know, but you'll be like,
I'll come back.
Remember me? I ruined your show with Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah. Nice. But he is a super nice guy. I was excited to see him in there until I found out, until I watched the whole movie. I was like, that poor guy. That was not a good role for him. He's gonna be forever remembered as the guy who got sexually assaulted by.
Here's the thing. You're right. I mean, that's obviously not. You're right. They just weren't thinking of that way, right?
It's one of those things where if you gender swapped it and there was a woman in that row, it would have been very obvious to everybody. Like, immediately, you'd be like, "Whoa!" And this is wrong.
I didn't super think about it until people started talking about it, to be honest with you. I thought it was still it was weird, obviously. I definitely thought it was weird. But I don't know. I guess just because the movie kept moving, I was just...
Yeah.
And did you see Patty's defense to that?
No. Did you have one?
She did. She said that... she pointed to a defense that someone on Twitter had and said, "Here, look at this. I agree with this." And they said, well, people didn't have a problem with Big when Tom Hanks was an adult and had sex, even though he was underage and stuff. That's really wrong. So what do you have a problem with this? Yeah, I know. And I'm like, well, I probably do have problems with it. And that was also the 80s. So a lot of things have happened and progressed since then.
So it has. But so to play devil's advocate, because we were talking to SGU one time. So I I don't have a problem with Big, maybe because I was a kid in the 80s when I watched Big and I love that movie. And I know nowadays, right, that movie would not get made. But I don't know, for me, I always think about what's the time frame, what's the intent, right? And the intent of that movie is to be a sweet coming of age story, right? And there was no intent to be creepy in Big, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I still don't have a problem with Big, because I think that's definitely why they were making that movie.
There's some classics that there's some stuff you're like, that wouldn't be work now.
Yeah. Like when I was 10 and I saw it, I didn't have a problem with it because I don't even know that I understood exactly what was happening. But now when I think, like, we started watching at one point and I was like, oh, ew. Because I just was like, he's like 12, this ew. And my husband's like, but he's not. He's like in a grown man's body. I'm like, gross. So like, no, as a kid, no. But this, like, they center the whole thing about how it's a selfish wish. It's not selfish that she wished to be with him. It's, especially when she didn't even know it was a real thing. It's selfish that he came back to her in somebody else's body and she spares not a single moment worried about this full human person who is subsumed by Steve Trevor. And she never, ever reconciles that. Like, that's also shitty writing. It's a bad character moment for her. Yeah. Which she is allowed, but they never reckon with it. Like, it doesn't ever come up, and that made it worse to me.
Yeah, because their wish basically sacrificed one person's life for another one, basically. And she didn't care at all about that guy's life, even though she got to be in his place and look and see. He tried on his clothes and stuff. And that's what really falls to me at the end of that arc, where she's like, I've got to let you go. It's like, yeah. And then she walks away all crying. I'm like, and you got to give that guy his life back. It's like,
right. But also, you just left him in an alley while things are exploding. So good job, you. He has no idea how he got there. Okay.
And he's just like, what happened?
Why am I here?
Why am I in these clothes? What's going on?
So I was going to say
drinking.
they could have just had Steve like appear without taking someone's body, but the problem is, you're right, the Dreamstone always, you had to have a cost, right?
But it did. It took her power. Well,
no,
it took her powers.
Oh, you're right. That was the cost.
Yeah.
So they didn't have to they could have just had Steve like be, like a magical, he's back to life.
Like all those nukes that appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Right? So
didn't somebody ask that? Like, did they take the place of other nukes? So, Steve could have just shown up, and then it would have been like, your powers are Steve. That's interesting.
He'd be just like, I know I look like Steve, but I'm actually a nuke. Just ignore it.
It's a case nuke. They haven't even been.
It's like, you take the nuke with you. I love your launch pad here. Let's have sex, and this is be a total nuke.
Initiate liftoff. So much you could do there, but
yeah. I agree with you though. Like, I've always had an issue with they make, like, Steve is her whole world, right? And normally I'm all about the romance stuff, but man, it's 70 years. It's 70 years. Like, and she barely knew him. She barely knew him. That's the other thing, really, in World War I.
Yeah.
It's just so hard for me to accept. Like, why does that have to be the thing of the story?
Because they want Chris Pine back, probably.
Yeah. So. And he's great. Like, he is great. But also, they could have done it differently.
Yeah. Some people brought up some other stuff here, like, because before the movie came out, I was wondering maybe he was going to be a relative, right? A great, great whatever.
They've done that before in some of the storylines. Yeah.
They said, Jackson says maybe they'll do a prequel like what they're doing with Loki and Black Widow. Punk Pencil says she should get with his nephew who worked for Cap and Winter Soldier.
Did it though? Did it?
Carrie wants the next Wonder Woman to be 3000. She's in the future with the Legion of Superheroes. Trevor would still be there though.
Nice. Okay. Like, we cloned you. We have the technology now.
We made him. He's a $6 million man. I love it. Let's do it.
Punk Pencil says, I didn't realize they had sex until I read the reviews. I actually got up to make a snack. Okay.
Probably the better call. Yeah.
Scorpio likes it, says the monkey's paw. I love those kind of stories.
Yeah.
Wait, what is a monkey's paw?
It's it's that old story of, like, you wish on a monkey's paw and you get your wish, but, like, you wish for your dead son to come back, but it's like a zombie dragging at the door.
Okay, gotcha.
There's always the catch.
Don't wish on dead body parts. That's the lesson.
Feels important, yeah.
Or Carrie says maybe the moral issues with Handsome Guy will be explored in the Snyder Cut. Snyder will take care of all the plot continuity problems. I'm very excited for the Snyder Cut, by the way, folks. I know a lot of people didn't. I love Justice League, and I'm excited to see what other his full version of it. Let's see here. Oh, interesting. Johnny says Snyder and his team were marginalized. That's why the movie sucked. Well, so Snyder, I don't think that's probably necessarily true. I don't know for sure. I mean, Snyder was part of the story of the first Wonder Woman, but that's when he was very much like the DC extended universe was him at that point, really, right?
Story by though means like you come up with the overall initial story idea. It could be very vague from that, and then the scriptwriter really hammers it out, probably.
Yeah. But I bet he was because at that point he was so involved that I bet he had an important part in shaping the story still to fit in with what he was going to do with the other movies, right? And then he had to step. Then he had to step away from that whole thing, right? Because of family tragedy, which was terrible. But I think that that was the choice he made, obviously, because of what was going on.
Yeah.
So I don't think obviously I don't think they would let him do the Snyder Cut, right? If they didn't really like Snyder, Warner Brothers and stuff.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Like, all right.
At this point, who knows?
They can make money. That's why they want to do it.
Yep, people will watch it.
Let's see. Alex says the same reasons that Romeo and Juliet is still ridiculous and about obsession, not love. Okay. Even Cap went back to Peggy.
Yep.
That's true.
Nieces just aren't the thing, man. Or nephews.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So any other, I guess, does that cover everything with Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny that he can fly a modern or 80s fighter jet.
Listen, he's the expert pilot, man. He can fly anything.
My God.
I was like, I can ride a bicycle, so motorcycle's easy. Super battle motorcycle thing.
Right. I don't know what a trash can is in the 80s, which I giggled at, but like, I don't know what a trash can is, but I can fly this brand new jet when I had a propeller plane in the 1914. Come on.
It just happens to be fueled at the museum that can make it all the way to Egypt in one go.
I did enjoy that it was fueled and worked. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna assume they stopped somewhere to refuel, but yes, the fact that it was fueled at all was kind of ridiculous.
Or to pee. It's like a 14-hour flight. Well, she probably doesn't have to pee, but his normal human body, since he wasn't created out of noob.
He just did it out of the side,
While flying.
Except he accidentally hit the wall because that's right, it's invisible. Oops.
It's sprayed back on him.
Yeah, now that it's covered in pee, they can see us. Man. I did like the moment where she's like making it invisible. That was fun. That was a fun moment. As opposed to dumb.
It was nice how they worked that in, the invisible jet, yeah.
Yeah.
So as a fan, I liked the invisible jet element. As a writer, I feel like they should have foreshadowed that a little earlier before it just came out of nowhere. It's like, by the way, I've been working on this invisibility stuff. Did I mention that?
Like he trips over her invisible mug and she's like, oh, there it is. Like, that would have been adorable. But no.
Yeah.
No.
That would have been funny, actually. You're right. Tammy says, all those planes fully fueled and waiting for a World War I pilot. You have to steal them.
I know.
Yes.
Alex hates the she can fly anything trope in every form of fiction ever.
Oh, real.
Carrie, back to things I loved. Okay, good. Linda freaking Carter, give me an HBO Max story about her travels in the land of man.
Yes.
What is it? Asteria, something like that. What's the name?
Yep. Asteria.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
I mean, you're right. I loved Linda Carter in the first Wonder Woman I watched as a kid. One of my first crushes as a young lad, and so it was great. I love that they worked her into the cameo
That's
at
good.
the end. And let's.
Sorry. I just read Lister's point there, and it made me laugh.
Oh, depends. The unseen sponsor of the movie.
You need to fly Egypt without stopping in an invisible jet. We've got you. That's awesome.
Punk Pencils was just wanted to have more Wonder Woman in the movie. It would have made it better. She was always walking around in museums and having dinner dates. First half seemed like more a romance movie. Like I brought up earlier, Zach. Again, I did. There was definitely a point where I was like, man, I haven't seen Wonder Woman in a long time in this movie. But then I kind of picked it up in the second half where there was plenty of action scenes. So I was okay with that overall. All right, let's see here. Okay. Alex says, they land the shuttle and the Millennium Falcon aren't the same thing. What? Why?
That's amazing.
Nice.
It was cute. I did love the moment. I mean, if you have to have Steve, which we've covered, but I loved the moment where he saw that they went to space. That was.
Oh yeah.
That was
The
really,
Space Museum, the Smithsonian, part of that.
Yeah, that was really. I liked that moment a lot.
Oh, just Johnny, the Wonder Woman TV series is on HBO Max. That's great.
Oh, yeah,
I love
landed
it.
right before the movie did.
Oh, that's perfect timing. Tammy says, yes, they love that scene here. Total fangirl. Linda Carter is a goddess.
Yeah.
I agree.
Agreed. She's amazing.
All right. Let's see. What else? Any other things we haven't covered that you guys wanted to address about the movie before we get into like future of Wonder Woman?
Well, Wonder Woman 3000. I'm sold on that one.
You like that idea? Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Well, you like the Legion of Superheroes too, Marx, right? You're a big fan of them.
Yeah. And Trevor 3000's got to do all his powers of Bionic Man.
She's gonna be like a little Jetsons robot, but she'll be able to see Steve.
She'll see Steve, yes.
Oh, I was gonna be like,
see you, Steve, not the robot. Now let's go have sex right now.
Yeah, it was like it's a little creepy, but you know what? She's happy. It's fine.
so yeah, she builds right an android of Steve in the future, right? Is what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, makes total sense.
3,000 years, she's still not over him.
But only if they get
Or
the
1,000
owl
more years. I should.
from the original attack or Clash of Titans, like the little
Oh.
robot owl. I want that too. Remember that?
Get
Little
attachments. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be so great.
Carrie says the wardrobe was great. He enjoyed that about the movie.
Yep.
Tammy says, I have the Wonder Woman TV series on DVD, Raising Her Girls on Wonder Woman, Xena, and Other Great Women. Well done,
That's
Tammy.
awesome. Nice.
That's the way to do it.
The one thing that I wish they had done more with in the movie, like they had a piece of an idea, but somebody lost it, was the whole point of the Dreamstone was to like bring down society, like whatever society it found itself in, like it wanted to destroy, like that was the goal of the Dreamstone or the god who enchanted the Dreamstone.
Mhm.
I wanted that to show up in the story because that would have been interesting because otherwise you just brought this like part Mayan person out of nowhere to tell you things that you never really used appropriately.
Yeah, it was really a throwaway like line kind of, right? About the god and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And then also the bracelet was enchanted. The thing that the Dreamstone was in. They just left it there?
Right.
Seems like a bad idea.
That's why I feel like Patty must have written a good chunk of it because I feel like she probably she hasn't written any kind of genre stuff before. Like it's mostly drama stuff, and which is good stuff. But I feel like she just doesn't because you're not as familiar with the genre. You don't think 2-3 steps further and explain things out because as fans you want to know that stuff. You want to hear like, well, how is this Dreamstone different than a genie lamp and all et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was some problems.
Mm.
Plus, respect the writers from the first one. Gosh,
Oh, man.
I know, yeah.
that guy.
That would have been. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't understand why they don't just do that. Johnny says, use Jodie Picoult's run in Wonder Woman for the next movie. She did a run on the comics.
Ooh, nice.
Okay. Tammy says her daughter wants a Xena Wonder Woman team up. She was disappointed they couldn't do that. That would have been amazing. Well, maybe in the comics they can do it sometime.
They should have Xena come in as like an evil Amazon.
In the next movie?
Yeah.
Or just have Lucy Lawless do a cameo, right? Or something as.
Yeah. Well, I meant that. Like the actress, not Xena.
Oh, I thought you meant actual Xena
I
character.
did too. I was like, oh, but she could
There'd be
good.
some IP conflicts there.
We could have Linda Carter and Lucy Lawless. Like that would have been cool. Like, why not have Gal Gadot and Linda Carter on screen at the same time? Like, have her actually meet Mysteria. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I guess it's possible for the third one.
Right? Bring Lucy Lawless in. Be good. Good to go.
Yeah.
I think the next one they said is going to be modern day, probably. So
I mean,
Okay,
it has
is
to be.
Yeah, is that what you would like to see?
Trilogy. That's what she said, I think, or Warner said that it's the end of the trilogy of Patty and Jenkins and
Gal Gadot.
Jenkins and Gal Gadot. It'll be like in modern day at that point.
Is that what you would like to see?
No, that's what I said.
No, but I'm asking you now because we're in this point of the show.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to segue into the future.
Sorry.
And you would like.
So what would you like though if you could like have your way?
I mean, at this point, I almost might as well because it just the 80s was where we stopped. Kind of would like to see in World War II or some other periods maybe, because that's what was cool, right? It wasn't just a superhero movie, it was also a war movie. Except for Captain America 1, we haven't ever seen that mixed together, and I thought that helped a lot. But I also, if you don't do that, then I would like more mythology in it, and that could be like going back home, or maybe something happens, somebody evil takes over the Amazonians who want to do something, and then she can go clash with them or something. So that would be cool. But yeah, if she's just fighting crooks in malls, then I'm not going to be too thrilled about that.
Listen, malls, high crime rate in these malls, all right?
or super Walmarts or whatever now.
She can fight against big business.
There you go. Yeah.
Let me share some comments here. Alex agrees that they aren't doing any more period pieces. The next one will be caught up in the timeline. Carrie likes the idea of an evil rival Amazon would be cool. Those Olympians were not all Diana fans. That's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
James, Lucy Lawless made a great baddie in Ash versus the Evil Dead.
She did.
Zen, I disagree with Marx. I think Patty did what she could with what she was allowed. So there's no way to really know of the three writers who did what, right? So I get what you're saying about she's maybe not from the genre. I'm still, personally, I'm putting more of the blame on Jeff Johns because I'm so familiar with his work. So I feel like those goofy plots are the ones he comes up with in the comics all the time. And so that's why I'm like, feels like a Jeff Johns plot to me.
Jeff Johns.
I guess we're not getting him on the show. Sorry.
Sorry, Mr. John.
I like you, Jeff Johns. Come to John Entertainment.
Yes. Hang on. I think I'm going to love Stargirl, though, okay? Okay, Jeff.
You might like Stargirl.
Well, and Patty Jenkins, you can come on the show and not go with Marx. That's just our show. These are all just our opinions, obviously, right? I mean, everybody, whatever, has different opinions on stuff. So, let's see here. I'm just looking at. Okay. Zen agrees with Marisa on the enchanted ring. That was an open-ended question mark.
I think so.
Yep. And Tammy's kid wants Wonder Woman Xena team up to vanquish a big bad.
Love the team ups. So good.
Let's see. Oh, all right. Well, Johnny thinks she had complete creative control, Patty. Well, that would make sense, obviously, because she was so successful with the first one.
Yeah, with her being the director and one of the main writers, she probably did. And she's also very vocal when she doesn't get her way. Like she said in the first one about what she disagreed with. So I feel like she will say, if she hasn't already, she will say soon, like if she disagreed on something. So that happened.
I wonder if it's like a George Lucas, Stephen King thing. Like once you get so like at a certain level of success, you don't get edited anymore. And we can all use some good editing. That is a key part of the process. So
Zen points out, though, she works in film. You never have full creative control with the studio. That is also true. I do like that Patty that she sticks up for herself, though.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't mind that at all. That's why. I mean, she'll let us know if she didn't.
Okay, I got you. she'll call us directly. And she'll
eventually tell us online in an interview
at
some point. She'll tell somebody. Because she didn't like, for example, in the first one, she disagreed with the ending of the first movie. Like she fought with them on it, and then went ahead with it. Like where
sorry, I lost you for a minute. Who'd she fight with?
When she fought Ares.
Ares. Yeah.
And she disagreed at that. She really didn't want him in it in the end.
Oh.
And they fought her on it because they wanted a big action scene to wrap it up. So, and I could see her point of view. She wanted to be like, because before that happens, she realizes that these guys are human and the humans actually did this war. So I get that, and that was good. But I also get why they wanted a big fight scene. So.
Yeah,
all right. Well, Marisa, what would you like to see in a third Wonder Woman movie?
I want to see more Themyscira. I want Linda Carter. If you're going to tease Linda Carter, use Linda Carter. And I think it would be interesting for Diana as a character to talk to Asteria as a character and figure out like how she's made her way in this world for so long, and like make a decision that's not about Steve, that is like, I want to be in this world or I don't. And I want to be in this world as Wonder Woman, or I want to be in this world as Diana Prince, or I see a way to do both. But this like sad works at the Smithsonian, sad works at the Louvre, sad whatever. I'm just like, come on, man. Go be Wonder Woman. Freaking demigoddess. You're amazing. That's what I want.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I feel like, particularly more towards the end of Justice League, that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to show her, I feel, accepting her role as like this iconic hero. And that's what Bruce Wayne was trying to get her to accept, the way he was pushing her, right? And I felt she, at the end of Justice League, she's like, okay, this is who I want to be.
Yeah.
So let's see. Alex says, what? She can't go home either way. Oh, I guess her Hippolyta does say, right? You can't come back in the first movie. Is that right?
Does she? Okay, I might have blacked that out.
I just reread something about it, I thought, because I had kind of forgotten about it too. I don't know. Tell me in the chat, folks, if that's true or not. Okay.
I can't remember.
You said I would like to see more mascara.
I mean, I would, especially if we're going to do like the 90s next, like a ton of heavy eyeliner.
The mascara.
That mascara.
Alex says the first Wonder Woman movie would have been the greatest comic movie of all time without the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I've heard multiple people not like the end of that movie, where they love the rest of it though.
Yeah,
I could see it either way, but I definitely can see why they didn't like it. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Johnny makes a good point. A Themyscira HBO Max series.
Let's do
I'm all
it.
over that.
Yeah.
All about the Amazons? Hell yeah.
Harley Quinn goes there and becomes an Amazonian.
No Harley Quinn in every fucking... Listen, Harley Quinn's great. She doesn't need to be in every property DC does.
She's their Deadpool.
Oh my God, amazing.
She does not belong with Wonder Woman.
No, that would be an interesting pick. Maybe Poison Ivy and Wonder Woman. That could be interesting.
Let's see. Tammy says they say she can never return.
Never say never in comics.
Yeah, that's right.
Though, she's Zeus's daughter. She can figure it out. Yeah. Her mom said,
Mom said that.
But she rebels against her mom, so it's fine.
Yeah.
No, your mom said that.
How dare you, Mom? How dare you?
That's what she learns, the your mom jokes and the...
Like, you know what? I am going to go home. Hello, teacher.
All right, cool. I guess we'll give it a rating. So, folks, we do like kind of a special rating for all stuff. Like when we did Arrow, we would do boxing glove arrows, like out of 4. We'll do. Oh, hang on. Punk Pencils is all about Harley and the Amazons. Okay. James says incoming Harley Quinn Jeff meme in 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah, you're right. I bet someone's gonna the Harley Jeff picture. They're gonna probably listeners, but he's the one who usually does it.
Nice. I like Tammy's idea.
Yeah, fast and loose with the rules. Themyscira can stop being hidden from the mist and have to join man's world.
Yeah.
Zen wants to see Themyscira on the third one. Let's see. Oh, Alex says that's why Linda Carter's character hasn't gone back either. Okay, that would make sense. Johnny gives it 2 stars. So we're gonna do it out of 4 lassos, folks. You can do a point. You don't have to do like you can do point 3.5 or 2.75, whatever. This is actually funny because it was in the mall. 3 orange Julius's out of 5.
I like that. That's good.
Tammy. That's right. Tammy's been doing these refaces. Wait, Tammy, is there there's a reface? Yes. Okay, wait. So, Marx, give it your rating and overall thoughts while I try to bring up what Tammy wants me to do here.
Out of 4, you said?
Out of 4? Yeah, some people do it out of 5, but we usually do it out of 4, right, Marx, I think?
Usually. Yeah, I mean, the first one was a 4, right? I think this one was probably maybe a 2.5, I think, for me. Something like that. I think. It sounds about right. Because of, a lot of plot holes that I feel like should have been addressed. And, it didn't stand out like the first one. And then the whole Trevor body swap thing was kind of creepy. And motivations were over the place. And, that kind of stuff. All the stuff we've said. The lasso tricks were cool.
Lasso tricks were cool. Yeah.
Tammy, okay, I can't. Sorry, you want me to show the Wonder Woman reface? Is that the one you want? Tell me. Send it to me again if you can. I can't find it right away. Anyway, Marisa, what do you give it?
I'm going to give it a 1.5 lassos.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Yeah, because it had so many missed opportunities. Because the first one was so good. Because they had such a great cast. They could have done better, and it just was. And I really can't get over the like, you just had sex with someone else's body. That's super creepy. And it's the 80s, man. There's all kinds of stuff floating around in the air.
Yeah. Ugh. That's what she's gonna have. Trevor's baby. It just takes a long time to develop.
And it's not gonna go Trevor. It's gonna look like handsome guy. Come on. Not great.
He's going to be. Oh yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Let's just. Okay, Tammy. I found it. I think. I think this is the one you wanted me to share. So, folks, this for those of you who watch Super Geeked Up, this is my co-host Francis as Wonder Woman. Let me play this. Sorry. So you're not getting the audio, but you can see the image there.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. He's got the super.
Sorry, I'm hearing the music, which is epic. I know you guys aren't. But
so good.
So yeah. Anyway, Tammy does those of us every week on Super Geeked Up, which, by the way, folks, is tomorrow, 11 p.m. Eastern. Francis, I, and Marisa will be having some fun. Oh wait, here. I'll show you one more because I'm going to go to Marvel now because she just did a Spider-Man one of me, which
Nice.
I want to share if I can get this to work. Okay, here we go. Which is great because.
Oh my god.
Which I think I fit perfectly on Tobey Maguire's body. Yeah,
Okay,
there we go.
How are these so good? And the de-aging CGI in Star Wars is so bad.
I know, right?
Okay, hang on. Now you're bringing up a whole different. Wait, all right. I'm gonna get to that in a minute.
I still loved it. And I was
Or when they raise
Wait.
Superman's mustache, for example.
Right. Like, how did you do such a bad job with what's his face, the Superman face, but you can put all of us normal people on these superheroes? Like,
So the reface is amazing. I agree how good it looks because she's done tons of these now, and they look really good. It's really amazing technology. This app you can use called Reface to do this stuff. So yeah. I'm not going to say exactly what you're talking about, The Mandalorian, in case some people haven't seen it yet. I don't want to spoil it, so I won't say exactly what it is. Except that I absolutely loved that, and I actually thought they did. I actually was impressed, like how accurate that looked to the thing. I know lots of people have problems with CG that I don't a lot of times, but I actually liked
they
it.
did this beautiful because when they did it for Leia and like they've done it for various people in Star Wars, and I don't understand because the effects in Star Wars have always been so good. And I did see a meme that was like, okay, those of you complaining about this have obviously didn't watch The Scorpion King, which
That's the best. Yeah, with The Rock.
pretty amazing point. I was like, okay, agreed. But it was more just like when they're holding still, it's like perfect. But these this is an app that like us normal people have access to, and there's expressions, and the expressions don't look freaky; they look fine. So that's the thing. When they're holding perfectly still, the characters look great. But as soon as they talk or try to like smile or something, you're like,
the sync is off. Yeah, on the voice.
Speaking of Scorpion King, someone online actually redid that visual effects and looks amazing. So you have to search around to find that.
I'll look for that.
So I'm going to give it, by the way, I'll give it 2 lassos. So I guess in between Marx
I
and
gave it the
Marisa.
highest. I don't know. Maybe
You
I
did.
scored it too high.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Again, the action. I like the action. I like the actors a lot, and just the story was a big mess. I felt, unfortunately. Let me get to what these guys said in the chat, though. We have, hey, Matt. So, Matt, well, we're about to wrap up, but I'm glad you joined us at least for the end. For the rating, he gives it 3 out of 5. Or here we go. Three things there. James is 3 lassos. Okay. 300 out of 500. Okay. I like these rating systems. Let's see here. Zen also gives it 3. 1.5. He's with you there. Punk Pencils. Alex gives it 3 out of 5. All right. People like, all right. So that's, got a lot of like mediocre-esque, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny thought that looked fine, the CG in Mando. Oh, Alex. So I did not. Okay.
Yeah.
So Alex knows I have issues with the sequels. I've watched both seasons of Mandalorian. I watched last year. The Mandalorian, I feel, is the closest thing to original trilogy that we have. So I'm enjoying it, and particularly the last half of this season, which again I won't say what happened in case you haven't seen it. I loved. I thought the show rocked. I avoid because I actually just watched the end of it last week. Somehow I avoided all the spoilers. I did not know what was going to happen at the very end, and it was like one of the coolest things ever. So yeah, I was a big fan of what Favreau and Filoni are doing over there.
It was great. I'm only complaining about the expression.
Yeah,
I'm only complaining that apps can do it better. That's what I'm complaining about.
And they're gonna all do a bunch of spin-offs. So that's great. I'm excited.
I'm not complaining about that. Also, anything that brings more Ming-Na Wen to my screen, I'm in.
Oh yeah, she's great.
Oh yeah. The what is it? The something of Boba Fett, the story, the tale, and I forget the
Book of Boba Fett.
Book of Boba Fett. Yeah. That's it.
And she's going to be one of the voices in the cartoon. They're the Bad Batch, I think. There's just multiple things, and I love her. She's great.
Zen gives it 3 out of 4, 1 point solely for being made. Okay, cool.
Legit.
That's the best score yet. Sorry, Jenny says, "Can you imagine the handsome guy's agent told him he would be having sex with Gal Gadot in the movie?" But no, really. You're not actually.
But not you. She can only see Steve.
Yeah, you're in like a couple of scenes. It's
fine. You're the love interest.
So here's another question. Outside of the creepy stuff you guys have brought up, that trope in general, because you're right, like Stargate and other plenty of sci-fi things have done that, right? Do you like it more when they use the actual actor or the new person who they're replacing, like in the scene? I feel like they usually use the actual actor, right, to replace the person, like they did here, more often. Yeah. Then, like, rather than having handsome guy be Steve, in other words, having a different actor play the role.
I actually like it when they show the real people, especially they swap people, because I think it's a great acting challenge for them.
Yes, to do both. You mean?
Yeah. So
I like that too. Yeah,
it could be funny, and it can also be really dramatic if they do it. Not all actors can do that. They have problems capturing mannerisms, but when they do it, it's really amazing, I think.
Yeah, Legends I thought did it really well. Didn't
Legends of Tomorrow?
Yeah. Didn't they did some of that? I think it also depends on what they're going for. Like if they don't want you to think about the ethical implications, they will almost always use the character you're supposed to see, so you're not thinking about it. But when they're trying to play up that creep factor a little bit, like body swap episodes are different, but like when somebody takes over somebody's body, I always think it's
I love body swap, man. They're the best.
Buffy is one of my favorites.
Yes, where they all switched. That was so great.
Oh my god, so good.
It'd be great as long as they don't start having sex with everybody. That's gonna
I know, just don't use somebody's body in a way that they have not given you permission for. It's super creepy. Feels like it shouldn't have to be said, but here we are.
Tammy gives it 3.5 out of 5. I really want them to keep making, hopefully improve. Scorpio, 8.5 out of 10. All right, cool. Got a good rating there from him. Nice. Zen is waiting on Black Widow. So is Carrie. Absolutely. Me too.
That's soon, right? Isn't it like the spring?
I think it's pretty soon.
I can't keep track of since they moved it around. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Sycamore Matt, waiting on Ghostbusters Afterlife more than anything else. Oh, is that the one coming up? Alex, my new way of trolling Jeff is Filoni is greater than Lucas. Prove me wrong. So I 100% disagree with that. As you know, Alex, dude, that's a whole different show I would have to do to debate that with you.
Who's Filoni? What?
Dave Filoni, sorry guys, is one of the executive producers of Mandalorian, but he's of the Clone Wars, right? He did before this.
Oh, okay.
And Rebels, he was involved with both those shows. I forget exactly. One of them was more than the other, I think.
Okay.
I think Clone Wars.
They can tell me in the chat.
Right? Maybe.
I feel, like one I think he was executive producer on, and one maybe a supervising producer or something. I forget the exact roles. You guys can tell me in the chat, I'm sure. So I don't know how much I love Filoni, to be honest with you, because I haven't seen those shows. I've only seen Mandalorian, but I did like the Ahsoka one he wrote, the episode. He wrote that one this season. I'm a big fan of Jon Favreau, for sure, for what he's done with Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of support for Ming-Na Wen, by the way, here in the chat, which is good.
She is so great. Also, can we talk about like how old she is? And she looks not that old.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
You know, she should play an Amazonian against Gadot.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing. She could do
some amazing fight scenes. Yeah.
Oh, good. Let's sign that.
Yep.
Get that done. Call your friend, handsome guy. Get it done.
He knows Ming-Na Wen too.
Probably.
Tammy brings up Quantum Leap, which is a show I really like, started it all. And you're right, Sam leapt into people's bodies and took over those bodies. Although Sam was a very moral guy and actually resisted having sex with people when they tried to.
That's the HBO reboot. He just has sex constantly.
Yeah. Captain Archer knows what's happening. That's the HBO Max version of the show coming up. They'll just sex with everyone. You're fine.
And they did a mix, right? You look in the mirror, you can see the other actor. So,
Well, yeah, but it was almost all Scott Bakula. Occasionally they would show the other actor just so you knew what he looked like.
Yeah.
And that other, the other person was actually went to the future. He was in what they call the waiting room, is where that person actually went into Sam's body in the show.
Did
That
they
was great.
remember?
Did they remember?
Did the characters, the people he took over? I don't remember.
Oh, did they remember once their bodies when they went back in their bodies? I actually don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not sure.
oh.
Zen mentions Travelers, which was a cool Netflix show with time travelers taking over other people's body.
Yeah.
Those are people, though, that were about to die, so they took over their body just before they died.
Sometimes.
Altered Carbon. You want a lot of body swapping.
Yeah.
Yeah, those people, though, well, I was going to say they agree to it, but some of it, I think they're just so poor in debt, right? They kind of have to agree to get their bodies out, so that's not really total consent, I guess.
But they're dealing with the ethics. Like, there are parts where they're like, oh, this is gross, and we do it. Yes. Like,
Right, that's supposed to be a not so nice world.
yeah.
So Matt says, I watched it with my girlfriend, and she's not seen the first film, so I had to explain why the Amazonians had such weird accents. I dig the accents, actually. It's obvious they're matching Gadot's, right? But I think it made sense. Why would the Amazonian, they shouldn't speak without an accent. They should have an accent.
You should have some accent, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Ancient Greek.
No, they talk LA girl or what we're trying to say.
Valley Girl? Is that what you're trying to do?
Oh my God.
That would be the worst.
Woman, oh my.
Oh my God, you guys, it would be so great if you would just like throw that javelin through that circle and not cheat. That'd be
Like
so
Cheetah?
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Diana, the truth is. Talk to Diana, is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's how she stops her in the end.
Yeah. I love it. That's great.
I love the movie Face Off, James. They do change faces and bodies there. Freaky Friday we got. Mm-hmm. Oh, she says Themyscira is actually Australia, but a millennia ago.
Nice. Okay.
Wait, actually, where is that? Where they shot it? Like, what? Does anybody know what stands in for Themyscira? Like, what place? It's quite beautiful.
I'm not sure where that's at.
My guess is always New Zealand, but I don't know.
Yeah, that me too,
Usually,
right? Because of Lord of the Rings, it's always.
Yeah. Like, it's beautiful. It's probably New Zealand. It's fine.
Okay, wait. Carrie says, you know what's creepy? Ghost when Whoopi morphed into Swayze to sleep with Demi Moore.
Mm-hmm. Creepy.
All right. Let's see.
Sorry, not sorry.
Punk Pencil says, Jeff wants to say so much about Star Wars, but his body just makes him cough. Exactly. Because I can't go into a 2-hour debate on it right now. That's a whole different show that we can do. Good luck in your production meeting, James. Thank you for staying up with us. We appreciate it. Thank you for all these great chatting, folks. Honest, this is I think our most viewed and chatted DC Action Hour ever. So we appreciate you guys very much. She likes the accent there, Tammy, that they should have an accent. Oh, I like the movie the show Dallas. That was a Whedon show with Eliza Dushku.
Good.
But that's right.
Moral implications too that they did.
Well, heavy ones.
Yeah.
Because they would be programmed with whatever the client wanted, basically, right?
Then they get their memory wiped.
But then she kind of started to try to be herself, though, right, and come up with her own identity.
Yeah.
And then you see what happens when technology gets out of control.
Yeah.
And
That was a really, really smart and good show, and too bad it only was 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Fox.
Was that one of the first places we saw Felicia Day?
I want to.
Well, the Guild.
I think she was in the Guild before that. She was in Buffy a little bit.
One
But at
season
the
of
very
Buffy.
end, right?
Very end.
Yeah.
Oh, Dallas
So,
was after the end of Buffy. Okay, nope, I got my.
but I think it was still fairly early on because I'm guessing because Whedon had worked with her and Buffy, he brought her. By the way, so what I remember, she was in the 2 final episodes, which were like the epilogue type.
Forward. Yeah.
The epilogue. Those are still my 2 favorite ones of Dallas. Like those,
Yep.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing.
they were so good. Okay. They said they shot in Italy.
Huh.
That's cool.
Oh, Australia is the source of the hotness. You mean like Australian actors? Do you mean, Zen?
I can't do the accent. I don't know why I tried. That's cool.
Oh, you're trying to do Australian accent?
No, I really wasn't.
Crikey, mate! Like that, yeah. That's all I can do. Dollhouse was great, as Matt says. This is the point where I mentioned once again that Firefly needs a new season. That is all.
Always and forever.
They're doing a reboot, or not reboot, a sequel in the comic books. It's like 20 years later. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Is Whedon writing it?
One of the other writers.
Because he did season 8 of Buffy. He loves doing comic book versions of his stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how directly involved he is in this one. Not sure.
Did you hear there was a rumor there was going to be a reboot though of Firefly for Disney Plus?
I heard.
Oh, but that's just there's not really though, right?
I don't know if that.
Yeah.
So it's a rumor.
That happened around the same time as the comic book announcement, so I wonder if they
got confused.
Up. Yeah.
Okay, that's better. I don't want to reboot.
I think they should stop rebooting everything pretty much and just do new stuff. But
You could even do stuff in the same universe. Like you don't have to reboot stuff. You could just
like The Mandalorian and other Star Wars shows. That's fine. You're doing new content in the universe.
Yeah.
Carrie, we're still about body swapping now. End of X3 when Xavier's conscience went into his comatose brother's body and they just acted like that never happened.
Fair.
All right. Let's see here. Oh, okay. He says Felicia Day was in the second half of season 4 of Eureka on Sci-Fi and a recurring role in season 5. Yeah, she's been in a lot of stuff. Supernatural, right?
Supernatural,
I was trying to remember. Yeah, but I was trying to remember where I saw her first. Like, because I have so much fondness for her from those episodes of Dollhouse. Because I didn't really like her in Buffy. She was fine, but like the character.
I don't even remember that she was in Buffy.
I'm pretty sure that was her first big break was Buffy.
Was it? Okay.
I think she only did commercials really much before that.
But then she was so great in Dollhouse, and then I watched The Guild, and I've loved her in everything ever since. But Dollhouse is where I remember being like, she's so great. But Eureka, yeah, I forgot she's in that. She was awesome in that.
She was. Will Wheaton was in it too.
Okay, wait a minute. Is this... Comics Are Fun says, the series about the alternate history of Riker's Island and explores the history of how it's named after William Riker of Star Trek. Oh, where's the series?
Oh.
He wants that series. Okay. I was like, what is this? I don't know about this.
No. The 90s. Wait. That's awesome.
That would be funny.
That's good.
Riker's Mystery.
I had a
Narrate it. It'd be great.
briefly, I had a sweet man in college named Will Riker.
Nice.
Yes.
You had a what in college?
A sweet mate. We had it like suites. There was like 3 rooms and like a living common area. But then he changed schools before school even started, so it was only like 2 days. Will Riker was among us.
Yeah. He changed schools or he went back to the Enterprise?
Well, you're right. It was you're right. It was probably the younger Will Riker time traveling, and he had to go back to the 24th century.
Obviously, that's the most likely. That's right.
I don't know why I didn't think of that, Marisa. That's perfect.
The easiest explanation.
How did he sit in his chairs? That's the good.
Oh, he did. He straddled them. He did the leg over.
There you go.
So good.
Here's, I guess, Matt has an idea for how it could have been. Data said regurgitating information except the name Riker.
That's
Nice.
so good. What was that show he did that it was always like, is this a real story or did we lie?
Who? Jonathan Frakes did it?
Fact or Fiction? Was that what's
Yeah,
called?
that would be.
Wait, like he was a host or he directed it?
Yeah, no, he was a host. Because he'd be like, we lied. And somebody just did like a compilation of it recently of all the times he was like, it's false. That was false. And it was really funny.
Gotcha.
But I'd forgotten all about the show. Anyway, unrelated to anything.
Comics Reference says sweet mate or sweet mate. That's where, yes, he could have been my first sweet mate too, but I only had 2 days with him. I didn't have time.
Now you just can't forget about him ever again. And you have a watch of his.
When they weren't on Wi-Fi, it wasn't that exciting, you know.
Right, he gave me the Horgon. I thought, oh man, I'm gonna have Jamaharan.
Oh no, so good.
Sorry, folks, some deep Star Trek cuts there if you're not a fan. All right, I love how we get talking about totally different stuff. This is great. Okay, I guess that's it there, folks. That was Wonder Woman 1984. Thank you for all your comments and thoughts. I loved hearing them. Thanks for all the other geeky chat we got to do. Let's tell people where you check out everybody out. Marisa, where can they find your books and other cool stuff?
Yeah, all my books are on Amazon. And you can find my slightly outdated website at marisawolf.net.
All right, cool. marisawolf.net. That's easy enough to find. Mark. Go ahead. Sorry, I froze. Where can they find you?
They could find me at marxpyle.com, and where you can also find the podcast I co-host called Genretainment. We just had like a year-end wrap-up about favorite TV shows and movies and worse ones also. And then and you can find me on Twitter at Mr. Marx.
Awesome. Supergeekedup.com, folks, is where you can find all my content. The Super Geeked Up improv show we're going to do tomorrow. Super Knocked Up. We have some gaming streams. Lots of DC Action Hours if you want to see Mark's, I, and other people talk about Arrowverse stuff. Yep. We did a lot of punching in those shows.
So good.
Folks, I would love it if you're able to, patreon.com/supergeekedup. If you enjoy the geeky content we do, any amount, even a couple bucks a month is super, super helpful. It also gives you access to some cool stuff like we do an after-hour show after Super Geeked Up and special fandom episodes every month. You can go over there and pledge. You can also do a super chat right here on YouTube if you want to just do a one-time donation. Anything is super helpful. We appreciate it. Matt says, Geeky Chat is the bomb diggity.
Definitely.
Punk Pencils loved it, the chat, not the 1.5 Lasso Wonder Woman. Okay. Well, good. I guess we're more entertaining than Wonder Woman 1984.
Yes, we should be on HBO Max.
Yes, HBO Max. Can you please? We will become the new most streamed thing on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Jackson says, my stepdad saw the stream and thought he was interrupting a WebEx meeting for work.
Nice.
You should have told him what he was. This is this meeting is all about Wonder Woman and Star Trek.
Good. I like it.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you guys. Here we go. He's been binge watching, listening to Genretainment.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Great.
Yep.
Okay, folks. So remember tomorrow, Wednesday night, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, Super Geeked Up season finale. Marisa will be our guest, so we'll have more fun with her. And Francis, of course, will be there, my co-host. And then, folks, will be taking a brief break from Super Geeked Up because tomorrow will be episode 299, and then we have to plan our big 300th episode. We're going to take a little bit of break to plan that out.
Yay.
Thanks, yeah. It's going to be fun. And though I'm talking to Francis about folks that we're going to hopefully maybe stream something else on Wednesdays in between that while we're on hiatus for Super Geeked Up and planning the 300th episode, so we can give you something to watch. There you go. Live Action Hour, HBO Max. Good. Just add a DC in front of that. DC Live Action Hour, HBO Max. Look, they're the home of DC, right? So it's perfect.
We can cover all HBO Max. Raised by Wolves, very good. Many good shows.
Okay, we can do. Yeah, we'd her in the Dark Materials, right? His Dark Materials, and
We've been watching Lovecraft. It's amazing.
Yeah, Lovecraft Country is awesome. Yeah.
Let's do it.
all the the DC online stuff's over there now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything that DC can have.
Well,
They have all the
but a lot of stuff is now.
Yeah.
Stargirl's over there. I gotta watch that.
Yep.
Yeah. You should. I think you'll like it.
I think I will too. I gotta watch it. He says 300 episodes by Crom. Nice. This is Super Geeked Up. Oh, he's doing the 300 from the movie 300 because it's 300. Yeah.
Nice.
Like this is Sparta. Yeah. Nice. Yes. Very good, Matt. I loved it.
Super Geeked Up 3000 with Steve Trevor bot. You got it.
Right. Yeah, Tam, that's not a bad idea. I was thinking, we might do some watch parties or we might do some like board or other gaming that we could all do together online for the other stuff. All right, that's it, folks. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Big thanks to Marisa for coming on. Thanks, of course, to Marx and all of you guys for being great. So Zen, you missed completely random tangents, which you should be very used to since you know Super Geeked Up well. Star Trek, Will Riker, what else? I don't know. A lot of other stuff.
We're going to be on HBO Max.
Yes, we're going to be on HBO Max. 300 episodes, the year 3000. Okay, lots of stuff.
So good.
All right, folks. Take care. Hopefully see you tomorrow for Super Geeked Up. Until then, stay geeky, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye.